Wastelands, wastelands, wastelands. That was all I could see. Nothing but barren land and grey skies for as far as I could see. The land looked dead, like a desert. And the sky, it was always grey. I hated it. I hated that place. It made me sick. It made my skin crawl, and it gave me nightmares. It wasn't just the land, it was also the air. It smelled awful, like it was covered in chemicals or something. I always felt like I was going to choke. I never wanted to be outside in that place for too long, because the air never changed, and it never got any better. But this day was different. It wasn't like the day I first got there, when I was scared out of my mind, and the air smelled terrible. It was worse today, like something bad was going to happen. I didn't know why, but I could feel it. The gods let me go, and they didn't give me a second look. They knew what I was going to do. They knew I was going to kill them. I walked over to where the guards had left their bodies. They were laying on the ground in pools of blood. They didn't look like they were breathing. They looked dead, like I was going to kill them. I didn't hesitate. I knew what I had to do. I started stabbing one of them with his knife. He was screaming, but that didn't stop me from killing him. Hey! Hey! Stop! A man shouted at me, grabbing me by the shoulder and pulling me away from the guard I had killed. What's wrong with you? You sick? He shouted at me. He looked really confused, like he had never seen anything like what I did. Leave me alone, I said. I shoved him off me and I ran off into the wastes. I ran until I couldn't run anymore, until I was out of breath. Then I stopped and tried to catch my breath, but it didn't work. The air still smelled bad, like it was toxic, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to breathe. I saw the other guard's body a couple miles down the road. I knew what I had to do, so I walked over to him and took his gun out of his holster. I shot him in the head, then put the gun back into his holster and took off running. I got back to the guard's base and I hid the gun in the guard's room. Then I waited for everyone else to go to sleep. Once everyone was asleep, I snuck into the base and stole all the food from the kitchen. I took some guns from the armory as well. I loaded all the stolen guns and waited in front of the entrance to the base. When the sun came up, I walked into the base and started shooting. There were so many bullets flying around, people thought they were getting hit by an earthquake or something. When it was over, I grabbed as many guns as I could carry and took off running again. I left a trail of blood behind me, but no one tried to stop me. It wasn't until I got about a mile away that I heard footsteps coming up behind me. You can't escape, a voice yelled at me. I turned around to see two soldiers with rifles pointed at me. They had been following me since I left the base. I have to get out of here, I told them, trying to run away. One of them fired a shot at me. You won't make it! I dropped to the ground as the bullet whizzed past me and hit one of my friends. He fell to the ground, and the other soldier fired another shot at me. I'm not going to die here, I yelled at the soldier. I grabbed the gun he had fired at me and aimed it back at him. Then I shot him right between the eyes. I kept running and running until I couldn't run anymore. I collapsed on the ground and screamed in pain as I felt the ground start to shake. I tried to pull myself together and stand back up, but the earth began to crackle and erupt all around me. The ground swallowed me whole as the volcano erupted all around me. My ears began to ring, and then everything went black.